So it's that time again that this week is going to be Saturday night's main event. So it's time that we put our heads together and then nerded out a little bit and started to theorize and predict what we might actually see on this. So let me start off by saying that this Saturday night's main event feels pretty epic. Okay, I had said this pretty much on the last Saturday night's main event, where we basically had the guarantee of crowning the new champion in that one. So for that reason, it felt a little bit more. It felt like a kind of a PLE type thing, which was kind of a bit of a novelty for a Saturday night's main event, because these just tended to be kind of like smaller like shows that didn't really kind of move the needle too much. But this one feels the most epic of all. Like the WWE are basically just really going out with a bang on this one. So they, I mean, obviously the main reason for that is that this is going to be John Cena's retirement match. That makes this event a historic moment and an epic moment in itself. Obviously, that's a moment that kind of like sells itself. But also I think that they've just created a really quite strong match card to accompany all of that as well, so that it really felt like they have made this like a real event. Basically we've got like 4 matches on this event. We've obviously got the John Cena retirement match against Gunther. We have another absolute banger to anticipate between Cody Rhodes and Obafemi from NXT. We have a tag team match between Javon Evans and Leon Slater against AJ Styles, and Dragon Lee. And then we basically have Bailey and Sol Ruka. So I'm going to go through these one by one. There's 4 real strong matches there. I think that it adds to the intrigue of that I think that you could say about any one of these 4 matches. It's a bit of a flip of a coin. It's not really easy to predict. They could go either way on this. There is one that I am confident on. There's another that I'm quite confident on, although I am going to go against that when we get to it. Feasibly they could go either way with the results of any one of these 4 matches. Let me start off by we'll start off with a banger Cody Rhodes between Obafemi, and my brain is telling me that Cody Rhodes is going to win, but this isn't a title match, and if this was a title match, I would say that would reaffirm my belief that Cody Rhodes is going to win this. But it's not, and I do feel like that. Why not use this opportunity to really push Obafemi and just have Obafemi pick up a win here? Because not only that, but I think Cody Rhodes can take the loss here, because I don't think it's going to do him any damage. He's still going to be the face of a company. He's still going to be like portrayed as WWE's prince. And Obafemi, he's just, this absolute monster of a guy, and you could just absolutely push him, especially with the Royal Rumble and everything being around the corner. I think that you could absolutely make this push for Obafemi, where Obafemi picks up a win here, and maybe you could incorporate that into a sort of a Royal Rumble build. So we know with Royal Rumbles they always like to inject one or two like absolute Herculean titans into that, where just the size and stature of these people, the commentators would automatically try and make out that they're going to be a firm favourite because of their size and stature. Although in reality, it very rarely comes that way. But yeah, I do think that you could insert, I think that Obafemi fits that bill though, and I do feel like he's somebody feasibly you could insert into that Royal Rumble, and he would just fit, and you would be an instant favourite, and you could see it. So it's getting into very kind of like ifs and buts, candy and nuts here, but I think if Obafemi did pick up a win this Saturday, and we got to the Royal Rumble and Obafemi won the Royal Rumble, and Cody still had the title, I think he could build that for like a real spicy rematch. I think that may be a part of how feasible that is. Kind of depends on how well they work together this weekend. I guess that's going to depend a lot of it as well, but I think the potential is there. So I'm going to say, why not? Why not do that? And I think that it's the one result that they could really, I think it would surprise people. I think because of the stature that Cody Rhodes has within WWE, I think it would just have a real impact, and I just think it would do, like I said, I don't think it would do Cody Rhodes any harm, but I think it would do absolute world good for Obafemi going forward. So yeah, I'm gonna lock it in. Although my brain's telling me Cody Rhodes, I'm gonna lock in Obafemi picking up a win here. So yeah, we'll move on to Sol Ruka and Bailey, and also a kind of, I guess, maybe along the similar lines. I could see Sol Ruka picking up a win here. I'm gonna lock that one in as well. I'm gonna say Sol Ruka picking up a win here, because I think that Bailey plays a really important role in WWE. I don't think necessarily she always gets that credit that she deserves for the role that she plays, but she is a real big ambassador for the women's roster and for up-and-coming talents. She absolutely does like giving young female up and coming stars that kind of pedestal to build off. Like I said, I don't think she necessarily always gets enough credit for that, and I could see that absolutely being the situation here as well. I do see that they could absolutely, this is something that could be massive for Sol Ruka, and I think that's one of the main reasons we're doing it. So I do see Bailey doing her thing of just basically putting Sol Ruka over here. I mean, I do think that we're not too far away from a Sol Ruka heel turn maybe on NXT. But yeah, you can absolutely still turn him heel and give him a bad push. I do think that. That's very much on the card. So that's what I'm kind of going for here. I'm going for the Sol Ruka win here. So when we move on to our next match, the tag team match between AJ Styles and Dragon Lee against Javon Evans and Leon Slater, I think again this is going to be an absolute another banger of a match. Just the in-ring ability of these four people, the similar styles, they all just They all just have that sort of in-ring ability and portray the type of wrestling I just love to watch. I love watching all that athleticism, high flying stuff. So I think that this match is going to be an absolute banger of a match. I think there's still stuff you could do with Dragon Lee. I think that absolutely the future is bright for Leon Slater and Javon Evans. I think they are two absolute phenomenal talents. I think that again you could just be, I think you could potentially have a bit of a passing of a torch type thing here. It's great for Leon Slater. Slater had stated that AJ Styles was a big inspiration for him. So it's just a really nice moment. It really is a 50-50. I'm going to have a flip of a coin here. This is one where, again, they could absolutely go either way, and you could, absolutely see it either way. But just because I have already picked two NXT winners here, I am going to go for AJ Styles and Dragon Lee picking up a win here. That's my only thought processes. That's the only logic I can apply here to give them, because there's nothing really, there's no real necessarily any sort of like argument that I can put forward as to why AJ Styles and Dragon Lee picking up a win here would make them more sense. Just literally could call this one straight down the middle, but obviously for the purpose of this video, I've got to go one way or the other. So because I've already locked two NXT stars in here for the win, I'm just only on that basis, I'm going for AJ Styles and Dragon Lee picking up a win here, and that brings us to the real main event. Although it's not going to be the main event of this show, I think they've already said that, which I think absolutely makes sense. I do think that, again, it's one of those where people have made an argument of it potentially going either way, and I do see both sides of that. But ultimately, there is not one part of me that believes that John Cena is losing here. There's just no way I can see it. Absolutely no way that I can see it. Because obviously we had him losing his previous match against Dominic Mysterio, but I think that there was maybe some rationale that you could make for that, with John Cena kind of putting a talent like Dom Mysterio over, giving him that kind of pedestal, which Gunther doesn't need. And I do think that it's just going to be one of those that seeing John Cena pick up a win here is just going to make everybody just go home really feeling really positive. And I think that's going to be amplified all the more by the fact that it's going to be against a heel like Gunther. Whereas if we had this against LA Knight, you would have still got that pop, but not to the same degree. I think that Gunther does some absolute magnificent heel work. It gets him some real heat. I think that the fact he's now going to beat John Cena's final opponent gives him even more heat. Just seeing that John Cena kind of coming through this and picking up a win here is just going to amplify that big pop, happy ending, happy farewell moment that I ultimately think we're going to get here. And that's not to say that I think this is going to be plain sailing for John Cena. I do see this being a match that Gunther is going to dominate. I think he's going to end up dominating it. I think that it's inevitable that this is going to lead to a spot where Gunther has John Cena in the sleeper. John Cena is going to refuse to tap out, so therefore we're going to make this like a teaser. He's going to pass out, and then he's going to come back. He could possibly reverse it, put Godfrey to the STFU. We could have a bit of a throwback to the WrestleMania with Jey Uso, where Gunther does tap out. I think you could have that. I think that there would be a certain poetic irony to that. But yeah, ultimately I do see Gunther absolutely destroying John Cena for the majority of this match, and but I do see, but there's not a part of me that doesn't feel that John Cena is going to still inevitably come through this and still to pick up a win here. Yeah, there's just not a part of me that doesn't see any other way, and I think that maybe with this not being a main event and this potentially kicking off the show instead, which I think makes all the sense in the world, also would reaffirm the idea that of John Cena winning here, because I think if you kick this show off with John Cena losing his final match, I think I would suck a lot of the air out of the room. Whereas, I think it's just if you have John Cena picking up a win, you have all that John Cena love. And I think that just sets it up perfectly for the rest of the show. So yeah, that's kind of like how I see it all playing out. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. That pretty much concludes my predictions video. Please feel free to let me know down in the comment section about what your own thoughts are of potential results, surprises, swerves, but all that fun stuff. Let me know down in the comment section about how you see this event playing out. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, don't forget to ring a bell for notifications. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. You guys take care.